Good day everyone, especially to my professor, Dr. Jayhan Yu Hostel. In this video, I'm going to present the topic that I chose from the subject Human Relations.
And as your teacher today, I welcome you all to my class. Welcome to Human Relations EDOC 615, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Now, I want you to look at the picture. Observe and compare pre-1920s and 1920s. And by the way, the proponent for these seven habits of highly effective people is Mr. Stephen Covey. Now, in earlier times, the foundation of success rested upon character ethic. Things like integrity, humility, courage, justice, patience, industry, simplicity, modesty, and the golden rule. But starting around 1920s, what happened? The way people viewed success shifted to what Mr. Covey calls personality ethic, where success is a function of personality, public image, attitude, personality, and behaviors. These days, people look for quick fixes. If they see a successful person, team, organization, and ask, how do you do it? Teach me your techniques. Yes, it is true to all. But these shortcuts that we look for, hoping to save time and effort and still achieve the desired result, are simply band-aids that will yield short-term solutions. They don't address the underlying condition. And of course, before we start, we have here our objectives. After a 15-minute discussion, you with 85% accuracy would be able to identify the 7 habits of highly effective people, assess one's own habit, and inculcate these habits to be an effective individual. Let's get started. Here are the 7 habits of highly effective people. The first habit is be proactive. Second is begin with the end in mind. Third, put first things first. Fourth is think win-win. Fifth is seek first to understand, then to be understood. Sixth is synergize. And seventh is sharpen the saw. We will discuss each habit of highly effective people. The first habit is proactive, or be proactive, the habit of choice. Now, as you can see here, it says, have the courage to take risks, accept new challenges, and proactively move forward in a positive and purposeful way. Remember that we're in charge. We choose the scripts by which to live our lives. Use the self-awareness to be proactive and take responsibility for your choices. Reactive people take a passive stance. They believe the world is happening to them. They say things like that. They say things like there's nothing I can do. Oh, that's just the way I am. They think that the problem is out there, but the thought is the problem. Reactivity becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and reactive people feel increasingly victimized and out of control. Now look at here. According to Stephen Covey, he said, it is our willing permission, our consent to what happens to us that hurt us far more than what happened to us in the first place. So first habit is be proactive. If you want to be a successful individual, if you want to be an effective individual, then be proactive. It's the habit of choice. Always remember, as what I've said, we choose the scripts by which to live our lives. That's it. And the second habit is begin with the end in mind, or the habit of choice. What does this habit mean? It says here, set realistic goals and bring projects to completion. Inspire yourself and others with a shared vision. Now always remember that this habit says you must start with a clear destination in mind. Early in the morning, think and have a clear destination in mind. And according to Covey, he said, we can use our imagination to develop a vision of what we want to become and use our conscience to decide what values will guide us. And it's true, because most of us find it rather easy to busy ourselves. We work hard to achieve victorious promotions, higher income, more recognition, but we don't often stop to evaluate the meaning behind this busyness, behind these victories. We don't ask ourselves if these things that we focus on so intently are what really matter to us. And he said it's incredibly easy to get caught up in an activity trap in the business of life, to work harder and harder at climbing the ladder of success, then only to discover that it's leaning against the wrong wall. So try to ask yourself right now, am I leaning on the wrong wall? Now, you need to begin with the end in mind. Look what's the result of the decision that you have made. And of course, you must set realistic goals. You just don't set goals, but you need to work for it. Again, it's the habit of choice. And the third habit is put first things first, or the habit of integrity and execution. What does it mean? Now it says here that you need to focus on getting the most important things done first. Now let me ask you today, did you do the most important things to be done today? Or you focus on the least important things? Now, in order to manage ourselves effectively, we must put first things first. We must have the discipline to prioritize our day-to-day actions based on what is more important, not what is more urgent. And according to Stephen Covey, he said, the challenge is not to manage time, but to manage ourselves, which is very true. Because sometimes we don't know why we are busy. At the end of the day, we will just realize that we did nothing, but we made ourselves busy doing nothing. Now the thing is, you must also focus on the spiritual things. You must feed your soul also. And that's the importance of life. The importance of life is not the riches that you have today, the achievements, the number of certificates that you have earned, but your relationship with Christ. And that is the third one. For the fourth habit, you must have this think win-win habit, or the habit of mutual benefit. What does it mean? You are going to encourage conflict resolution, seek mutual benefits, and increase group momentum for mutual problem solving. Now I'll tell you, in order to establish effective and interdependent relationships, you must commit to creating win-win situations. What do you mean by win-win? Okay, so Stephen Covey explains that there are 6 paradigms of human interaction. For number 1, it's win-win, meaning to say both people win. Agreements or solutions are mutually beneficial and satisfying both parties. The second one, according to Stephen Covey, is win and lose, If I win, you lose. When lose people are prone to use position, power, credentials, and personality to get their way. And the third paradigm is lose-win. I lose, then you win. Lose-win people are quick to please and appease and seek strength from popularity or acceptance. And the fourth paradigm is lose-lose. Both people lose. When two win-lose people get together, that is when two determined, stubborn, ego-invested individuals interact, the result will be lose to lose. And we have the fifth one, the win. People with the win mentality don't necessarily want someone else to lose. That's irrelevant. What matters is that they get what they want. And here is what we call as the mindset of win-win. Win-win or no deal. If you can't reach an agreement that is mutually beneficial, there is no deal. Now, I tell you, the best option is to create win-win situations. The win-win or no deal option is important to use a backup. And so always remember that in think win-win, in this habit, working together means 2 plus 2 equals 5. Meaning to say, if you're going to work for something, make sure that you will get twice of the benefits. 2 plus 2 equals 5. So you need to work not just for this, but you need to target two things in life. So you need to think win-win. It's the habit of mutual benefit. Okay? And the fifth habit is what we call as seek first to understand, then to be understood. It is the habit of mutual understanding. It's very simple. Always listen, put yourself in the shoes of others, promote better communications leading to successful problem solving. So meaning to say, you need to put yourself in the shoes of others. This habit will help us to understand that we are all humans. We deserve equal rights, and we deserve equal positions in life. And according to Stephen Covey, he said, you spent years of your life learning how to read and write, years learning how to speak, but what about listening? Yes, which is very true, and what is this? And realistic. Okay, so you have to build the skills of emphatic listening on a base of character that inspires openness and trust. So if you have this habit, then if it's a good thing. Why? Because you will be more friendly if you will understand people. Because we're not perfect. Everybody needs acceptance. Everybody needs understanding. So yes, that's it. That's the fifth habit of highly effective people. And the sixth habit is synergize. It is the habit of creative cooperation. Now, when we say synergy, it allows us to create new alternatives, open new possibilities. It allows us, a group, to collectively agree to ditch the old scripts and write new ones. So meaning to say, if you did something wrong, forget about it and learn something and look forward. And Stephen Covey noted here, without doubt, you have to leave the comfort zone. Meaning to say, you need to come out to your shell. You need to show to people the best that you can do. Okay, so you have to leave the comfort zone of base camp and confront an entirely new and unknown wilderness. That's it. And we have here the last habit. It's sharpen the saw, or the habit of renewal. So what does it mean? So it says here, promote continuous self-improvement and development of your capability, safeguard against burnout, and preserve future personal productivity. Now, according to Stephen Covey, as what I have read, there are 4 dimensions of our nature, and each must be exercised regularly. So what are those? The first one is the physical dimension. So of course, the goal for this physical dimension is to improve, to exercise our body in a way that will enhance our capacity to work, adapt, and enjoy. So you need to renew yourself physically. You must eat well, of course, get sufficient rest and relaxation, and exercise on a regular basis to build endurance, flexibility, and strength. And the other one dimension is what we call as the spiritual dimension. So the goal of renewing our spiritual self is to provide leadership to our life and reinforce your commitment to our value system. And the third mental dimension on what to sharpen is the mental dimension, or this one. The goal of renewing our mental health is to continue expanding our mind. So you need also to renew yourself mentally. You read good literature, you keep a journal of your thoughts, experiences, and your insights, and then you need to limit television watching to only those programs that enrich your life and mind. And the third one is the social or the emotional dimension. So what is the goal of this dimension? So the goal for this dimension is to seek deeply understand other people, socialization, and then you are going to make contributions to meaningful projects that improve the lives of others and maintain an abundance mentality and seek to help others find success. And yes, that's the last dimension of that's the last dimension in sharpening the saw. And according to Stephen Covey, he said, the more we see people in terms of their unseen potential, the more we can use our imagination rather than our memory. Okay, so there you go. So we already discussed the 7 habits of highly effective people. So the most important thing here today is the application of what you have learned. So we already know what are these habits, and if you want to be an effective individual, so you may apply these habits in life. So what are those again? These are number one, be proactive, begin with the end in mind, put things first things, think win-win, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Synergize and sharpen the saw. Thank you so much, and I hope you get something from the class.